They're likely going to get offlane span, and time might be one if they don't pick it up here.
PSG.LGD Lion.
Ready up. Sorry about that.
10 seconds remaining.
PSG.LGD's
Bang.
Oh, they go Bane on LGD's side. Interesting.
Ten seconds remaining.
Team Spirit's turn to ban.
Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
PSG.LGD's turn to ban.
Okay.
10 seconds remaining.
Excuse me. Lunch is finished. Here we go. So the bands to follow now. So yeah, Magnus, great at empowering teammates too, and one of the heroes is the Faceless Void, but they actually banned the Faceless Void themselves, figuring a Spirit could take it away from them first, so not going to see that direction.
10 seconds.
Whatever carry they do have is going to need to be pretty mobile,
5 seconds
or a
remaining.
true BKB carry, because Wyvern and Lion is going to be very annoying to go up against, and provides a lot of slow and lockdown. So, I could see Luna as a possibility, pending a ban here for LGD. Ursa's still there, certainly another option. Although Ursa with the curse could be in a cold embrace to deal with. Not something that he likes. They banned Phantom Assassin the Spirit, so they don't want to give up that combo this game.
10 seconds remaining.
Although it's one of those things that with the Winter Wyvern, it really does make it difficult in terms of what carry you want against that. Because, again, just right-click physical in general against a Wyvern is scary for a couple of reasons. One, because of the curse, but also the Cold's Embrace. It makes it so it's very difficult to actually kill the target that you're on. With the Wyvern sitting back there ready to save.
Remaining.
So instead, maybe even something more like a Slark core for LGD could be something they're thinking about. Slark actually feels pretty good so far against these two cores, or against these two supports, excuse me.
Spirit's turn to pick.
And Slark definitely benefits from the Empower, so yeah, I'm actually convincing myself Slark's a good pick here for LGD. Or they could just go the Luna route once again, and I wouldn't be surprised by that.
10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
PSG.LGD's
Spectre core.
PSG.LGD's
Luna.
The undying waits.
Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
Ooh, they go back to Undying. So they do go Luna with the Undying. Undying did do very well for them last game. So I really am not surprised to see that. Also, I guess half dude's an Inspector. And right now, the Radiant team doesn't have the best tombstone killers. That's where the mid hero can come into play. Oh, are we going to see the axe? Somebody mentioned axe in a previous game. Well, here we go. We see axe. So axe, aka Legionnaire of Han. Axe, a pretty unique hero. So how axe works, whenever he gets attacked by something, so there's some synergy with the hero. So whenever he gets attacked by something, he has a chance to spin, basically, which it deals damage to everything around him. I think it's pure damage even, so not mitigated by, you know, armor, magic resistance, whatever. But on top of that, he has an ability called Berserker's Call, which he forces targets around him to attack him. It also gives him a huge armor buff, so the idea is he gets a blink, he jumps in, he taunts everything around him, and they're attacking him, and he's spinning like crazy, doing a lot of AoE damage. But then his ultimate is the Coaling Blade, where when a target is a certain threshold of life, I think it starts like at 275 for level 1 or around there, then he can use the Coaling Blade and it'll instantly kill the target. And if he does that, then he refreshes the ultimate for free and he can cast it again immediately. There's a mana cost, but cooldown-wise, it refreshes it. So he is really good against these heroes that may, like, you know, be barely good at surviving, something like Undying for that matter. He can cut him down pretty quickly, or, you know, efficiently. They get the Kunkka last pick for LGD, but what was I gonna say though?
10 seconds remaining.
Oh, they still don't have the best tombstone killers though. He doesn't really address that issue. So this mid pick for Spirit, who I'm guessing is going to be a mid hero, is they need something that can deal with the tombstone. Puck, kinda, not really. Ooh, they go the Templar Assassin. All right. How do I feel about the Templar Assassin pick? Again, Templar Assassin we've seen a couple times as well. One of the best snowball mid heroes that you can pick up, and by that I mean a hero that, if has a good laning phase, can transition excellent into the into that early to mid game, and that will just take over. It can start shredding up the opponent. Goes a very similar build really every game. Usually going to be the Blink, Desolator, and then a BKB. Those three items. Sometimes the Desolator first, depending on how the game's going, but usually Blink, Desolator, BKB. And if she has those three items, and she is like the top level of the game, and she's already gotten a couple of kills, then you can start to see her really, really accelerate.
5 seconds remaining.
But, and also she is good in the mid matchup against Kunkka. There is that as well. Her refraction, so it's that purple shield she kind of puts around herself. It mitigates the next 5 sources, at least at level 1, or we'll see when we look into the game. But the next X sources of damage, they'll be mitigated until the refraction falls off, then you can start hitting her again with abilities. So no matter what the ability is, so even like a big nuke from Lina, for example, like it'll be mitigated by refraction. The point is, Kunkka's isn't the best at taking off refraction because he doesn't have any rapid fire abilities. He doesn't have his auto attacks are a bit slower. So in that matchup in the lane, Templar Assassin does actually do pretty well on paper. So I think that's also why they like this Templar Assassin pick for Team Spirit. And is a hero that, again, with the snowball factor, you move around with the rest of the team around the Spectre, who's going to be farming. You know, probably going to get the axe, but still will need a bit from there. Kind of that go mentality. Try to prevent Luna from coming online, as we've seen many of times in this tournament. I still, man, this axe though, but I guess my biggest concern one is still they are having to deal with the Magnus in general. Magnus empowering this Luna, of course, going to be great. There's the RP threat, but then Undying's Tombstone. The TA doesn't necessarily give them that great answer to killing the Tombstone either. She is a ranged core, but other than that, she doesn't have, you know, that rapid fire ability to help take it out quickly. Total number of player deaths at the game end. We're going to see a clash here. Oh, we're going to see a clash off the bat. Oh my god. Lion just runs uphill, gets first blooded. Yikes. That is not how Team Spirit wanted to start. Yeah, honestly, Team Spirit doesn't really have the greatest level 1 team. And what I mean by that, usually, so at level 1, you only get one ability, of course. And, you know, how impactful those abilities are going to be if a fight breaks out is how you look at it in terms of whether a team's going to be better for the level 1 as a team fight. Honestly, LGD seems like they certainly benefit more at level 1 of what their potential is going to be. Brain Zap on Bane is amazing. Decay on Undying is fantastic. The Shockwave even on Magnus not bad. And even honestly, Luna applying this aura, only 5 damage, but that can add up, especially in the early game. So LGD is going to manage to get the 2 of the 3 runes, and they're going to get this one. So LGD not only gets the first blood, but they, I didn't even pick these. I don't know, well, whatever. LGD not only gets the first blood, but they get 3 of the 4 bounty runes. So very good start for LGD. And you see them with a slight lead as a result. But into the lanes we go, and we see right off the bat the Decay coming out from Undying. I mentioned last game how that works. Especially in the laning phase, going to be something that he'll spam over and over. Spectre already has the magic stick, maybe preemptively expecting this. So he's going to add up those charges. Axe. So he gets this Battle Hunger level 1. Battle Hunger is a fun ability as well, where he'll use it right here. What Battle Hunger does, it slows and does damage over the time on the target that he uses it on, as well as gives him a speed boost bonus. But it can be removed on the enemy if they kill something while it's activated. Whether that's a hero or a creep, it will remove it. So using it on a support in this case is actually a pretty good tool, where the support's, you know, going to be a little bit less likely to kill creeps, whether it's, unless he tries to deny something. But again, excellent harassment for that laning phase. See baby CPK in the background. But yeah, very curious to see how this Axe does. Axe is certainly a hero that Spirit is going to want to make sure has a really good early game as well. Gets that sooner than later, Blink especially. I'm guessing that's what they're going to prioritize, of course. And allow him to help create space with the Templar Assassin.
Step lively now. You're
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Templar Assassin, as she does, she goes off and farms the jungle a little bit there. How is this midnight? 15-2 compared to 12-2. But again, Toronto Tokyo did do a little bit of jungle, so not necessarily something
Step lively now. Your admiral is on board.
you could really compare the best with. I'm sure Kunkka's leading right now. And no, it's actually a slight favor for TA. I thought for sure without the game started too that Kunkka was going to be in the lead, but never mind. So Magnus, we've been seeing the Magnus played by Team Spirit the last couple of games in the build that he went. He likes to go that mech into the blink. This Magnus being played by Faith Beyond, he's slightly different change of pace. He's going to go the Helm of the Dominator. Now we saw that before in the Lycan game. I believe that was game 1 of the series, where Helm of the Dominator allows him to take over a creep and use it to his advantage. So pairing that up, you know, whatever creep makes sense in that time frame. Great tool for that. It kind of allows Magnus to be more of an objective presence rather than going for maybe team fight as a whole and team fight initiator. So that tells me that LGD wants this Magnus to have more of an individual presence this game, I suppose, in comparison. Now, he could also turn that into the Helm of the, what is it? A Helm of the Overlord, which as we also see, which of course eventually turns into where he can take over ancient creeps. By the way, you see right there, Bane is just such a good support with his Brain Sap ability. So much damage that can come out, and there really isn't much Axe can do yet. He doesn't even have his call yet, so no crowd control really.
Step lively now.
As Xin Q actually picks up the water rune in front of Templar Assassin. That was a good rune steal, because that means Templar Assassin now has an empty bottle in her inventory. She is unable to follow it up, so we might see a support on the side of Spirit teleport in from the fountain to
Structures are fortified.
give Templar Assassin some help. Maybe Miposhka, as he's currently stacking. So Templar Assassin is one of these heroes that you certainly want to stack your camps for. She has the Side Blades auto attacks, which are, it's kind of this, it's a cleave basically. It'll reflect off of the first target hit and goes in a cleave. So stacking camps, very powerful tool for her. Bane is going to live. He also puts a sleep onto Axe and makes sure to keep his distance. So it looked like we're going to have a close kill there, but no cigar as we hit 5 minutes, and now Undying's also over here. You see Undying kind of spinning. Those are some procs from the counter Helix ability. That's what I was talking about. You see creep waves very well, and it also allows him to jungle a bit too. He's got his call now, if it comes into play. Bane has one of the top win rates, does he really? Yeah, I feel like only some teams have been playing Bane, but I think Spirit's one of those teams that's been playing a bit of Bane, so it kind of makes sense that he has a very high win rate. We get some insight here for Spectre in terms of what he's thinking. Uh-oh. Nice skewer, and look at the hero blocking, allowing the tower to do a lot of damage here. Yataro's going to be fine in the end, but that was a clever play. Whoa, Kunkka. Maybe he's not fine. Kunkka, the torrent. Oh, it just misplaced. Yataro, good juke right there. He's got an X, though. He's got a ship. He's going to pop it. Wyvern's coming in. Can he save him in time? Yes, he can. The Cold Embrace. And Yatoro will live. Beautiful teleport for Winter Wyvern. If Wyvern does not teleport in, that for sure is a dead Spectre. So that's what I'm talking about with the Cold Embrace, though. This Wyvern pick, all throughout this this draft, honestly stayed a really good pick in this game. Even though it was first picked, it's still really good. The Culling Blade. No, he's not level 6 yet. You need more spin procs. He's not getting the spin procs. A little bit unlucky on the lack of spin procs there for Collapse. That is a downside of Axe, is sometimes the random number generator will not be in your favor. 85% of main event. Yeah, that's actually really crazy. Wow.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
So overall, we have a 2,000 net worth lead for the Radiant team. That's good. But Templar Assassin is going to be a key for Team Spirit. Toronto Tokyo is going to go the Desolator first. Unless, wait, did she buy the Blink? No, okay. So she's going to go the Desolator first, enhance even more farm, and then eventually the Blink to give her that positioning ability. You see right here, as we got a pause coming out, Magnus does finish down with the Dominator, and he actually takes out this Harpy Stormcrafter right away. One of these creeps earlier on, you'll see them pick up sometimes, and that it does have this Chain Lightning. Good for harassing in the laning phase, but also good for assisting farm. The Chain Lightning, as you would expect it does, it just jumps from target to target and does a little bit less damage every target it hits. But you see here, they're going to do a good job. Oh, he denies it! Well played by Faith Beyond. It's one of those small things that's maybe not the biggest deal in the world, but that was going to be some decent bounty for the other side. That would have given them 100 gold. But because Faith Beyond denied it, it actually prevented them from getting the gold. And you see right here also what LGD is doing. They see the stack in the jungle. They know they're going up against the Templar Assassin, so this is something you'll see often. One second.
Dire are scanning.
Haste.
Dire's middle tower is under attack. Dire's top tower is under attack.
They'll never find your grave.
Okay. Sorry about that. Child snuck up on me there. What was I saying? Oh yeah, so knowing that they're going up against a hero that's really good at taking out stacks, LGD does a great job of infesting the jungle earlier on and looking to kill those stacks for themselves, at least some of them, to really, you know, slow down that stacked farm as much as possible. Oh, and Templar Assassin. Let's see that family take. Of course, I'm not gonna ignore the child here. Trust me when I say she gets plenty of attention. She's got a lot of food during all this too. But of course, if she needs something, she knows she can ask. Winter Wyvern, by the way, getting picked up in the jungle though. So speaking of infesting the jungle, LGD has just taken over the dire jungle right now. You just see their positioning, and as a team, they're moving through it, and this is just so well played by LGD right now in terms of decision making. They know that they've kind of choked out Team Spirit when it comes to farm on their cores. Specifically, the Spectre is getting nothing. Spectre really is limited farm right now in this game. I didn't realize Spectre was doing so poorly. But there's going to be... The blinks are going to be absolute key for Spirit. That's what it really comes down to. The blink on Axe and the blink on Templar Assassin. Because she's almost got her Desolator finished at least. But she'll likely get that blink next, right? So when they have those two blinks... Naturally, because Blink Dagger with the item that does, again, it allows you to jump forward or wherever positioning to allow for initiation or get away or whatever the purpose. It doesn't really provide stats though at all, right? Like it doesn't provide any stats, just to make sure on that. Yeah, it doesn't provide any stats. So you're spending 2250 gold for 0 stats. What I'm getting at is that when you get the blink, you want to make sure you're using it for its good purpose of setting up fights, ganks, whatever. So that's where I go back to the timing for Team Spirit. They get the blinks. They'll look to maybe make fights happen and see what can happen from there. Now, Axe, his blink is going to be delayed. Good catch here by Bane and allows Luna to beat him down. Bane technically credit for the kill, but overall a very good one there. You do see Luna having the Dragon Lance picked up. Or just about picked up, I should say, as well as that Mask of Madness. So she's going the build we've been seeing throughout. I'm sure the Black King Bar will be next. This is probably one of the more one-decided... This is the most dominant early game we've seen in any game of the series, I gotta say. I know all 3 games have leaned towards, you know, the winning team in the end. It wasn't necessarily too close in the end result, but... The early game, at least for all 3 games, I feel like we're actually somewhat close. Not the case here. LGD is playing very well. They're doing exactly what they need to do with this draft right now. And, I mean, even Luna's assisting in some kills, but now she's got the Dragonlance, and she doesn't even feel like she needs to get the BKB yet. And part of me thinks that's because of where we're at in this game, but I guess the other part of me... So the thing with Black King Bar... You always have to look at, too, what is it really doing against the opposition? And are there abilities that can go through BKB, specifically crowd control, that makes the BKB useless? Some of the more popular ones are like a Faceless Void Chronosphere, for example. Like, that doesn't care if you have BKB activated. It'll still, you know, stun you in place, right? By the way, Blink purchased by Axe, but he's just trying to live down here now. He's got the early Vanguard, too, which tanks him up. He's just trying to juke through the trees, but I think he's dead in the end, yeah. There's no way he's getting out of that one. But speaking of Axe, Axe is one of those heroes, as Lion also ended up dying. He got ran down. All 5 heroes down here for the Radiant. And they scanned somebody over here. Uh-oh, Miposhka. Miposhka might be in trouble still. So the scan used by the Radiant, that's this ability down here. Both teams have a 3.5-minute cooldown they can use at any point. And it scans somewhere on the map, and when it turns red, that means somebody's in that area. Some enemy heroes in that area. If it's green, then no enemy heroes in that area. So it's a way to kind of detect if somebody's nearby. They almost got the Wyvern as a result. But yeah, Axe is one of those heroes where a BKB, not necessarily the biggest deal for him, because he can still use Berserker's Call on you, and it will still force you to attack him. So, this Luna might be thinking, okay, I have that to worry about. Winter's Curse is actually another thing that it does pure spell immunity as well. At least being able to use it on that target. So that could still affect you. I think those are the 2 big ones, right? Yeah. So, knowing that you're going up against that, the priority for Luna isn't going to be the Black King Bar. Instead, it's going to be the Saint Yasha. And why that's kind of interesting decision or one that I feel like Luna's making is, oh, great catch here, by the way. They're going to catch Spectre just farming in the jungle. He had no clue. They just simply walked up, and that's the bait opener to take out Spectre. But SNY provides status resistance, and as I mentioned earlier, status resistance, it decreases the duration that crowd control effects last on you. So that does work against Berserker's Call. That does work against the Winter's Curse, right? So it's not making you immune to these abilities, but it will overall reduce the length of all the crowd control that happens to be used against you, as well as then the stats it just happens to provide on top of that. You do it? Good job. My daughter, she's doing it. Actually, let me show her here real quick. I have one of these. I got this when I went to an event in Russia. What was it? The Star Ladder event, I want to say, that I did commentating for. It's one of these Russian dolls but it's Dota themed, and they were custom made. So like it opens up. Anti-Mage is the first one. You open it up, and then it's Sven is the next one, and then it's Luna is the next one. And I think I'm missing one, because then Slark is the last one. He's kind of just this mini Slark. It's hard to tell. But anywho, that's one of the cool things that I got through my times commentating on Dota. Oh boy, that's a dead Templar Assassin. The curse kicks in, but it was just a little bit too late. So TA is dead, and this Lion's now gonna get picked off most likely. Yep, X gonna bring him back. That's Kunkka for you. Oh, and you see Magnus right here. This creep, he took over the Dark Troll Summoner, which has the Ensnare. So it's that net. So it's another source of crowd control that they can use now to lock a target in place. This one's already, dare I say, over. The snowball's not happening. Axe effect is certainly not being felt. Spectre is working on the axe. So maybe when Spectre gets the axe, maybe they can try to make something happen. But the team that LGD built this game, they are so good at fighting as a team, especially. And on fairly lower cooldowns. Again, the RP is obviously pretty long, but it's a team that can reset often. Like the Ghost Ship, for example, of Kunkka, it's only a 70-second cooldown right now. But he has several abilities, both in the X as well as a Torrent, that are great for team fighting. Bane, we've talked about what he provides, and just really 3 sources of crowd control, essentially, if you include the Enfeeble as well. Luna, again, with her farm, she's doing wonders. She also is getting the Empower buff, we have to remember, from Magnus, which is that massive damage increase throughout these fights. And Undying in the Tombstone, we've talked about plenty. Also, we didn't even mention the Soul Rip, but he has the ability to heal a target of choice, including the Tombstone, with this Soul Rip ability that basically takes life from other sources around the target and gives them that life. So, yeah. Including, he also has the Flesh Golem ultimate, or the Abomination as I called it, but he transformed into that huge golem that we saw that last game a bit. That actually does several things, as you can see there. It slows them, it increases the damage they take when they're near him. Templar Assassin picked off again. Ooh, top lane. Was that a RP? No. They simply just caught her again.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Dead lion.
Dire's middle tower is under attack. Dire's middle tower has fallen. Dire's structures are fortified. Dire's middle tower is under attack.
You wanna... I'm gonna commentate what's going on.
Dire
What do you think of this Luna here? Luna's pretty farmed, huh?
Haste.
That's Luna. That's one of the heroes that you were just playing with. You're playing with, what is this? This is Juggernaut. This is another thing I have.
To me.
Juggernaut character. Oh, they jump. Who do they get? That Spectre. Oh my god, you see the heal though. Or that was Luna, excuse me. But gets healed up, and now they're turning. So I mean, that was like the perfect jump for Spirit in this game right now, and they still could not kill their target of choice. Templar Assassin again locked down. Hold Embrace saving her barely, but no, she's staying dead. Double kill, and if I was Spirit, I would probably think about just throwing in the GG and saying, all right, let's go to game 5.
What are those?
Clearing out the throat. Oh, those are poker chips. My poker chips that I like to mess around with while helps me distract. Buyback from Wyvern, but yeah, and this goes again. They were down 2-0. People sitting here saying like, "Oh, LGD, they're out of it. They're not going to come back from 2-0. Need to win 3." But again, you don't think of it that way, right? Like, don't think 3 games. Instead, think it's 1 game at a time. You know, we needed to win this 1 game to even have a chance, anyways. So just take it 1 game at a time. And I feel like LGD, they certainly whether their coach pointed that out, or the players did a good job of calming down and playing like we knew that they could play. So they've taken it 1 game at a time, and now here they are on the verge of forcing the 5th and final game. And now you could say it the other way, right? Where now it's LGD is the one that's in full momentum going into the final game of the series, where Spirit is going to be finding themselves in a difficult spot to win this in the end. What's up?
What?
You can pick one up. There you go. Yeah, so Spirit, again, they're not going to throw in the towel yet. It's, if anything, what this does, it also gives them some time to contemplate what they want to do for the 5th game in terms of a draft. But yeah, this definitely was the biggest outplay we've had so far in this whole series. Where somebody pointed that out with the last game. It's like, oh, that was the most one-sided. I don't think the first 3 games were really that one-sided for the early games, at least. I think they were fairly even, but this one, not so much. This landing phase did not go well at all for Team Spirit. First. Trying to be sneaky. I also wonder if the Kunkka kind of threw off Team Spirit a little bit too, because they didn't ban the Kunkka going into the final set of picks. Both teams needed a mid-hero, and I know that Tokyo is definitely a very comfortable Kunkka player for Team Spirit. Maybe they're hoping that LGD just was going to pass it up and then they were going to get it themselves, but LGD is like, yeah, we'll take that. And I know the TA matchup is pretty good into it, and TA did good in the laning phase, I guess. But it's just the progressing out of that early laning phase after the first 10 minutes or so. I had that up for when you were up there. So, actually, I can't even... When you were watching Bluey, yeah. Great show. You want to come back up? Okay.
Dire's middle tower
Go pick
is
it
under
up.
attack.
I don't know. It's right there. Yeah.
Dire's structures are fortified.
All right. This one is all but over. But hey, when you're on the main stage playing for $23 million for this series alone, then you're allowed to stay in a game a bit longer. So I'm certainly not going to harp on Team Spirit not conceding yet. Do not put your feet on there, please, because I don't want you to hit the power button. That would be bad. Let's not rest your feet on the top of the computer. Thank you. Yeah, she doesn't even have her BKB yet. Yikes. She's almost there.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
LGD is going to do Roshan. What do you think of that?
Dire are scanning.
I agree.
Roshan has fallen to the radiant.
It's going to be the Aegis for Luna. She's got the shard now. I think she might have just gotten the shard from Roshan there.
Radiant's bottom tower is
Shard's
under
very good on
attack.
her, of course. You look at Templars. Just in case he got jumped down here, he's ready to trap over and over. Here's the push, though. What should be the final push. Luna's like, all right, let's just go to tier 4. We didn't even care about megas. Let's just clear out tier 4, kill the Ancient. She's got an Aegis. Plenty of support, feeling cozy. There's the hunt. Go ship in. Luna just killing the Ancient. Doesn't care about anything else going on right now. Oh, now she does. It's going to turn around as Templar Assassin jumped in the back, so they kill Pain, but GG's are called. And that'll do it officially. So there you go. Hey, LGD wins it. That means we're going to game 5. What do you think of that? Yeah, game 5. Okay, that means we got to do one more game, though. I'm sorry. Are you excited for that? Got one more game here in the grand finals. It's come down to this. One game to decide it all. Boy, oh boy, especially after that start, it really did seem like Spirit was on the verge of doing something super special.
Whoa, look.
What is that?
I don't know.
Those are all the heroes. Those are the heroes that just played. 23-2.
What?
I know, what? Yeah, Team Spirit didn't really